All right. We're here with Ivy Gleeful Spellthief. So it's like Invisible Stalker, but you can play it as your commander. That's pretty cool, right? Or SRAM, but blue and green instead. So we have a bunch of auras that we just slap onto another creature, right? You don't slap them on this one. So we have things like Mist Cloaked Herald, 1/1 unblockables, stuff like that. Champion, every time you play an aura, you kind of get two of them if your commander's in play, so you draw twice, right? You get the aura effect on two different creatures. It seems pretty cool. It either wins what I assume really fast, or you just don't win. So with that logic, I don't really have anything that costs more than 4. I had some stuff in here like Orvar. There was a different 4-minute enchantment, Vindalkin something. Like there's some cool 4-drops, like Gem Razor. You can mutate twice, but it's just it's hard to kind of tap out really after the early turns when you're trying to kill your opponent with these, because if this dies or you stumble, you're probably not going to win, right? I don't imagine there's enough time to cast this twice. I could be wrong, but if I'm not, then it would be wise to try to play this on like turn 3, or if you have a mana dork, I guess you could play it on turn 2, just leaving up protection spells so you really win. Because if you just play this butt naked and then it dies, you're like, well, I'm probably not winning this game. All right, you're giving your opponent arguably twice as much time if you get to that point. That's why my curve is super low. I'm sure there are more expensive versions of this commander. At least from when I've seen playing against it, I've seen things that cost more than 3. But I'm going to start with this. The auras are also pretty effective, right? Like giving the other creature evasion is nice. Or just hard to block, right? Give it flying, give it unblockable is nice. This is a 2-minute draw 2 if you target 2 creatures. You also don't have to have another creature in play. You can just kill your opponent with this. I'd say it's arguably quote unquote twice as hard because you need to do like sort of twice as much damage with one creature, but it is possible. I'm sure I'll beat somebody up with like one creature at some point. Also, we have Curator's Ward. I've never seen this card before, and I just typed up Hexproof to see what all the, protection spells would be. It's not only an aura, so it counts for like Ancestral Mask, champion here, Cetessan champion. It gives 2 things hexproof if you have 2 creatures. This card is basically another Swiftfoot Boots or what is it, Mirror Shield. That's pretty neat. Obviously, all the Curiosity effects, Curious Obsession, Curiosity, Combat Research. The green one is Sixth Sense or something like that. Yeah. It seems pretty cool, right? These are obviously probably the best cards in your deck. Just 1 mana, infinite draw is pretty good, right? Scale up could be a 1 mana deal 12, which seems cool, right? Assuming the other creature goes face. It is a sorcery, but that still is a lot of damage, especially for 1 mana. And yeah, very straightforward. Some counter spells, disruption, stuff like that. Box Ambers, absolutely obscene. The cheaper your commander is, just like Keenan. And yep, let's see how we do. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's roll. Okay, Vivian gives reach tokens. Is it the reach token? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I always win the first game I record. The reach tokens were useful though. They had reach tokens. It was possible. I've never played against this. Maybe it's like poor man's Sauron, right? It's kind of what I just picture. So playing this is nice, and then playing this and then Audacity both of them. right. I like that. Yeah, we just flash this in, and then I cast my commander. This way I also get to leave up royal treatment. I don't think there's a universe in which I block. Oh, I guess I can't as flying an attack. Okay. Really, you have a 1 minute spell? Well, there goes my whole game plan, I guess. Of course. Well, absolutely atrocious. I guess I play this. There's no real reason to leave up royal treatment. Just play an island. Okay, so Ledger Shredder was actually a pretty good draw. So I play Ledger Shredder and Ivy. You have another spell? Oh, spare me. At least I get to loot a land before something bad happens. And now we just leave up our protection spell. Okay, it's not the kind of spell I thought it would be. Grixis Pirates, huh? Definitely have to play things you normally would never see, but these aren't inherently terrible. They're pretty evasive. I have to get hit by 3 at the same time. Target non-land permanent. Combat damage by 3 or more pirates. So they have to hit me with a bunch of pirates. Can I... This gives +1/+1, so I guess I do that here. There's not really anywhere else to target. Kill that. And trade off my commander for this one. Okay. Alright, well, if there was ever a game where I could maybe survive recasting my commander, this certainly feels like it. And I guess I play this here. Okay. If I swing... I think we can take a turn off not attacking. Yeah, because I'm not even drawing on hit. This isn't a pirate, is it? No. Okay. What if I did this? Okay, so I can again cast Ivy, but then I don't have much going on. I think I'm going to take that risk, though. And we just don't attack again. Because I'm dead to this deckhand. I don't have a spirit. Okay. Okay, so I have to basically kill that by targeting it with literally anything. Let's play you. Leave up Sea Dasher Octopus. No, I think I'm going to play this and pass. Okay. Okay, so it's not realistic to ever get my commander again. So we're going to do this. Okay. Guess I can hold on to that enchantment. It's not doing too much. So, if I swing like this, I have to swing like this, and I don't think I can swing with anything else, so... That 0/1 plant is actually pretty useful right now. And I guess I just pass. Yeah. This is probably my opponent's last turn. And these are very useful right now. Like, extremely useful. Actually, I don't have lethal on the crackback. Unfortunate. Because they could just make a treasure and go to 1 next turn? Okay. Sure. So let's untap. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's lead with this before I mess this up, because this is 2 damage. These do not have trample. Okay, I almost blundered it, but I can use this to do damage. I don't have to use it to trade. They've already cast Lightning Bolt this game too, actually, which is kind of funny. Okay, they reveal a pirate in hand to cast a 2/2 pirate, and we win. That's lethal. What an insane game this was. Wow. But we got there. Awesome. Wow. That was not looking good. That was crazy. Playing defensive that 1 turn cycle ended up paying off where I didn't swing with the Ledger Shredder. Wow. Okay, so we took out some more top end for just cheaper pump spells so I can push damage a bit faster. It seems like I'm getting to sort of where I want to be, but then I don't have the damage. So I'm adding stuff like Giant Growth and taking out slower cards like Rhystic Study. See how that works? Mr. Oreo, alright. About to get double stuffed. About to get double stuffed, I'm sure. Let's find out. How stuffed are we? Alright. At least we didn't get stuffed by a 1-drop. That's nice. Double? Okay. So it's like pseudo double whatever. That is not really doing anything at all. Okay, interesting. Can I take a turn off to play this? What's the payoff here? I think I maybe can. I'm playing one of these. Fine. I mean, let's just play the commander. Let's just play the commander. It's obviously more into the game plan, but this is also pretty decent. It doesn't fly, though, which could be a little bit annoying. I don't have a way to currently give flying, either. Okay, my opponent just milled 4 cards. They have Cauldron Familiar, so I guess there's food out and about in their deck. Interesting. Interesting. Undead Butler. I can't be convinced that that's a problem for me. Whoa, my opponent's playing Rupture Spire. I didn't even notice. That's crazy. Alright, well, this would be good, but again, I'm missing a little bit of evasion, but I'm obviously still going to cast this here. Yeah, there's just nothing I can do, so... Swing like this. I could have, like, swung and see how they, like, dealt with the crackback there with this card if I just swung, but I think I can hold off for a little bit, especially with Essence Scatter. This is a very weird commander. I don't see it doing too much. Okay, that's fine. Opponent's doing some weird jank here. Sure, that's just a 3/3, yeah. If I can't outrace this 3/3, I probably wasn't going to win anyways. I actually will counter this. I will counter that. 5/4 is a little bit scarier. Alright. I don't really know what was going on, but they did do a lot of milling. They just never found a major payoff for it. I guess if they ever reanimated this late in the game, I would just die out of nowhere. Some pretty long queue times. Okay, Rizza Redeemed is pretty slow, right? Especially without a turn 1 mana dork. It can be kind of slow. This hand is actually kind of interesting because Season of Growth is pretty appealing, especially with another evasive creature here. I actually kind of like this. Like, I can use this for mana and then use it to swing, right? It's kind of hard to ever get a second food going anyways. Well, they're on the play with a 1-drop that I can't interact with, so I probably just lose the game, but good try. Again, every time this happens, I feel obligated to say your chances of winning go down probably by like 10 to 15% when your opponent plays a 1 mana producing threat on turn 1. They didn't utilize the mana, but it is still pretty effective. Let's play this and pass, right? Do I pass right now? I think I do, actually, because I can Season of Growth and then do other things later. Did they read their commander or something? That was weird. Okay, so I'm playing this, and at this point I basically have to leave up, leave up Lofty Denial, so I will for a turn to stop at least one thing that isn't just this. I can maybe race all the 1/1s they might spam, but they have a different kind of serious issue, like that one. That would make it so I can never really attack, because it would turn all the tokens into flyers. Actually, I would be dead in like 2 turns, because they'd just be making a ton of 4/4s. I would just die. Alright, drawing cards here. That was a... I guess I just cycle it, right? Yeah. Okay. Doesn't actually add any damage. And I don't see much of a reason to leave up Dive Down. But looks like my opponent doesn't want to play anymore. Anyways, nice. Okay, I've never seen this in my life. Wizard entering causes a trigger. It happens again. So like Snapcaster Mage is the only one that comes to mind. I'm not too sure what else there could be. I'm sure there are other things. Oh, this hand is... I really want to draw land with this hand. Really want to draw land. Maybe we will. Oh! Yes! 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 Opponent doesn't want to beat the ramp, the early ramp on the play. Yes! Oh, yes. Love it, dude. Love it. Told you, it's the strongest thing you can do. Told you. That cannot be a likely thing at all. That doesn't feel remotely likely. Okay, so I'm going to keep this just because Invisible Stalker and their deck kind of sucks against it, except the board wipes. Opponent agrees. Mulligan probably for either discard or specifically like random removal. Okay, I'm going to play this. Okay, I really wanted to see a land. I do not have... Well, I kind of do. I don't know. What do you got? The problem is the board wipes I don't have an answer to. Okay, so I can play this, but then I can't swing with both. I can play this and say screw it. Alright. So I'll make it so the only thing you can possibly do is cast a board wipe. That is the only recourse here. I am in no position to ever pay for Smothering Tithe, which is really unfortunate, but it is what it is. Decline. So I can push 12. They're so close to dead that it might not matter, right? Because I have a counter spell here. We might actually just get there. We'll see. That was a lot of damage, though. Kimbal's just not good enough. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? Okay, so I gotta pay for this so they can't do that again. And then I swing with both. And that's it. Okay, looking for Fatal Push, I guess. So I can swing, and then I leave up Heroic Intervention, and it's on them to do something weird. We did it. Wow. Wow. What a wild game that was. It was kind of fast, but like all that those lines were crazy. The Smothering Tithe, I had to pay for it to obviously hold Farewell from Bay, and wow. And of course they had Farewell. Of course they did, right? But we beat it. We beat it. Speaking of beating things, this is the Changeling Bear thing. Someone in chat said there's like 23 bears if you add up all the changelings, and then this doesn't do anything past those like 23 cards in this game currently. So not too scared. This is actually really, really good. Sort of, kind of. Hard to say that it isn't, so I'll say that it is. So hold the amber. Why not? Okay, well at least it's not a Arcane Signet, I don't know. Let's play you. Let's play this. Pass. It is mono green too, so not much in the way of stopping me from hitting them. Oh, I love it. Okay. Alright, so they fight. This would die, so we have to make it not die. I guess this one. Oh, yes! I'm telling you, dude, I've never lost to this poor commander. Like, look at this. Oh, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. This is I love this card so much. It's like you gotta play this and then it doesn't do anything. These actual fights, they're actual fights too, so this dies. Oh. Gem Razor is cracked, but I have to actually cast it. It's better than a sign that is bad. Right? Right? Am I right? Okay, that's not what we wanted, but it's what we got. Really want a second green here. They'd also really need to play something for me to blow up very fast. I assume they have something, right? There are a lot of artifacts. There's one of them. Alright, green source. Alright, huge. This is absolutely spine-snapping for the opponent. Now, if I get to untap, we're in a very good spot. If I don't, it's a big uh-oh. Okay, well I did. I have no second creature now is kind of a problem, but just got to make do with what we got. We're doing the old 4/4 Atraxa beat you to death with it strategy. That is fine, actually. Of all the artifacts for me to like maybe want to counter, I don't even know what you get on 3 here except the mana rock. No, it's just a mana rock. They sacked their mana rock for a mana rock. Search all library for a card named... Okay. That was a semi-decent draw. I don't hate that one. I will assume they have a blocker by the end of their turn, though. Lodestone Golem? No. You have 2 cards, opponent. There you go. They could have left up a white mana to activate their Oswald, but they didn't. They also did not swing with Oswald. Interesting. So we put a counter here. It would be interesting if they ended up chump blocking, but it's possible. Wild Shape. That doesn't do much for me here. It does give this trample. I don't know. Wait, actually, the trample might actually cut it here. Hold on. So I swing. I think this actually does it, because it gives my Llanowar Elves trample. Or they could just not block it. That's also kind of weird, but sure. 6 plus 5. Yeah, they're just dead now. Okay. Unless you have unsummon or something. That's 13. Yeah, they just didn't block. But even if they did, we found trample, so we could just smash over it. Oh no, it's 5 color anyways. Alright, well, I only get to complain when they have Sanctum Fall. If they don't have it, I can't complain. So surely they'll have it. As I am in the mood to complain about something. Sand is actually pretty decent, but it's also a little slow. But I really like the goose, but yeah, it's kind of slow. I think we gotta just find something slightly more, just more damage. Be a little bit more useful. Oh no, I clicked keep. Alright, well, we're all in then. It's fine. Told you I was going to find something to complain about, and now it's just misclicking. Sand isn't, it isn't bad though. It is not bad. Toughness X or less? Okay. Well, they don't... Number of shrines you control? Shoot. Okay. I guess I make them tap their mana? And then I, like, cast a random spell? It doesn't matter what I target here. I don't have to copy this for any specific reason or anything like that. Okay, so here... It's one of my better draws for sure. I don't believe there's any merit in pushing this shape onto anything. I'll just take the draws and see what happens there. Okay, so we found 12 damage next turn. Pretty good spot here. These don't play nicely with each other. They change the stats, they don't add. It's unfortunate. Okay, no Sanctum of All. Wow, we can play the game. Oh my goodness. They do the swingy, sure. How many shrines do they have? 1, 2. Okay, they have enough. So I will Wild Shape. So we can play this. Wild Shape. And now I can push a fair amount of damage, but unfortunately it's not enough to kill. Tragic. $14, $15. Opponent, that was not going to kill you. It was a really bad spot to be in, though, right? This is $14, $15. They go to 2. And I have Heroic Intervention up, which is probably good enough to beat everything except Farewell, which would be kind of devastating for them too, because it seems like if like this Menadork goes, they could struggle to get the colors they need. And we could actually recast this next turn, just do worst case scenario, so nice. Okay, so I like this commander. It's feather, but it's just blue-green, right? So you have like counter spells instead of like the white protection spells, but you still have very solid protection spells in the form of green, so that's nice. It is a little weird sometimes to get another creature in play and have both of them like kind of fly and smack your opponent over and over, right? If you're hitting your opponent with like two evasive threats repeatedly, they're gonna die really fast. So this just the commander as a whole really likes to kill your opponent very quickly. Now, there's a lot of Ivy players that would probably disagree with the top end and probably have more top end that is slower, and that is totally reasonable. I just don't really like that because I really want to kill my opponent very quickly, and just have protection up at all times. So I'm running all of the protection spells, even like Spell Pierce, to really push the first cast of Ivy past the finish line. I don't really want to be in games where I'm casting it again, like maybe a different kind of Ivy player would, where they're like, all right, well, it dies, but I have like slower things to do when it dies, so I'm not too upset with it. I can cast it again. My deck is just, more expensive overall. You'd run more Mana Dorks, right? They do help you with this because they also trigger the thing. So, like, you can actually play more and more Mana Dorks, and with that, play a slower game. But I thought I'd try kind of the kind of the more mono blue tempo version of it, right? You're just like bringing in cheap stuff and playing these perfect curve answers to your opponent's stuff, tempoing them out, like kind of the Delver Secrets type strategy. So thought I'd try that. Some of these don't play too well with each other. Like Wild Shape is just hexproof, right? Sometimes it gives trample to something that was going to get blocked. But if you play Scale Up, it's going to set it to 6/4, and then you can't really use this in combat to like protect after the fact or something. It's kind of weird. But if you cast Scale Up and then they go to kill it in response, then you could Wild Shape. This would resolve, give them hexproof, set them to 1/3s, and then this resolve sets them back to 6/4. It's really weird. There's not a lot of cards in Magic that like set power toughness, but it's kind of something that might irritate you, right? Scrap Gorger could just be a different kind of creature, right? Like I know this exiles your opponent's graveyard, even like when it swings, it actually gets the exile trigger, and that's somewhat relevant. I don't know if that's stronger than this having some kind of power to it, right? Like if I give this some sort of evasion so it can swing, it might be better as a something that like Curiosity could just hit them with instead, right? Because this doesn't do that for a while, and by that time it's like, does it really matter? You're playing this turn 2, and then it's like turn what, 3, 4, like turn 5, turn 6 when you start actually doing damage in that scenario. So that's something to think about there. But all in all, the games are pretty quick. Mox Amber is extremely powerful, right? The cheaper your commander is, the exponentially more powerful Mox Amber gets. Swan Song is wishy-washy because you're giving your opponent a blocker, and that's like, it's not the best idea, right? Not the best idea, but yeah, it's what I did, and it worked out. I liked it. Some of these are a little weird, though, I will admit, like the ones that just give you some power and untap your stuff, like this one. It's pretty cool to surprise your opponent by killing their attackers. That is possible. It also can untap Mana Dorks to then cast another spell. So they are pretty useful, but sometimes they're not. If your opponent's not really doing much to stop you, but I'm not killing them that fast because my pump spells aren't that crazy, They're not pushing that much damage. It could be a little bit of a rock and a hard place, but it worked out. I like this deck. The games are fast. If you like fast games like Feather, if you play Feather and you want to play this instead, or something like that, then I'd try it. I did like it, but let me know what you thought. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will not be posting anything tomorrow because I will be DMing for D&D with the boys at the place. So I won't be here tomorrow, but probably the next day. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time.